Hello. Today we'll be learning a few things about using UNM Learn. UNM Learn is the platform for online classes with UNM. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open a web browser. I like to use Mozilla Firefox. You're going to type in learn.unm.edu. Here you'll be taken to the Learn login page. You will log in here with your NetID and password. This is the UNM homepage. Here you will see your courses, which will be down at the bottom right here. You will also see your course messages and announcements in the left corner. You will see your notifications in the top right corner right here. And you will also see support options here and also here. We're going to click on the support tab and you will find help with the calendar, tests, assignments, discussions for students. So you're going to want to pay attention to the student portion. You're also going to see that there is a portion here that will say create a support ticket. This is going to be important if you run into any issues with your course. Let's say a link's not opening or you're unable to open the test, you're unable to upload an assignment. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on there and you will create a support ticket explaining your problem to a professional who can help you solve the problem. I always recommend to do this so that way you're kind of making a trail in case you need to tell your instructor, I had issues with this, and they can always track the support ticket from there. I also recommend, in addition to creating a support ticket, email your instructor. Emailing your instructor is always a good place to start just because they know the course best. They may not have opened up the module for you at that time, and they can always do it on their side, or they can direct you back to contacting UNM Learn support. There's also an option here for phone support. In our case, since we are not in Albuquerque, we can always call the toll-free number, and the great thing about it is they are open 24/7. There are going to be a couple of things you can do to get back to the previous page, but what we're going to go over first is you are going to want to go into how to use UNM Learn. Here we'll take you to the online.unm.edu website, and this has a variety of helpful links. Here they can show you supported browsers, accessibility support, how to view your grades, how to take a test. They have a lot of videos that they can show you with screenshots, so that's always a good place to start. If your instructor requires you to upload your picture onto the course, you can always click here for help with that. Frequently asked questions. And there's also a video here on how to welcome to UNM Learn, which I usually show with my presentation, but in this case, I will let you guys do that on your own. Then we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to go back up to Learn. Now we're going to go back to the home page. There are a couple of options you have to get back to your home page. You can always click here on UNM Learn. That will take you back to the page. You can always click on the back button, or you can always click on My Learn. All three will take you back to the home page here. I'm going to go into the courses, and I'm going to click on the political science course. The first page you see is the home screen of the course. It varies from instructor to instructor, so not all of them will look the same, and not all of them will contain the same content. In this case, it lists the title of the course and also tells you that it is for the summer 2020 session, and it will end on July 25th. She has announcements in this case right here that will show you. Some instructors, they have their contact information, their email, their phone number, the syllabus, the calendar dates that are important to remember. It just varies from instructor to instructor, so it's always good to explore your course in the first week, because each of them are different. On the left side, always the menu button. Here we have the syllabus, which is always important. Here we have grades, course messages, announcements, and also in this case, they have it organized by weekly modules. If you click on week 1, you'll see that sometimes the cursor turns into a little hand. That's when you know that it is a clickable link. And as I mentioned before, you can always click back to get to the previous page in case you need to. Or you can always follow the little cookies that are right here. So if I click on calendar, let it load. You'll see that it gives me there. In this case, it does not take me to anything there. Go here, journal response 1, which is due on June 6th. See, the cookies, like I said, will just take you back to the previous page. Here, she lists what is due for this week, which will run from June 1st through June 6th. You gotta take 2 quizzes, journal response 1, and then the topic 1. So you gotta view this video. They always list it differently there. May also be listed on the syllabus or also on the course calendar. It varies, like I said. Just gotta be sure that you write down what is due for that week. Journal responses, click on there. You can upload your journal response. If you don't have Wi-Fi at home, or you just you don't need to always be logged in on here. What I find helpful is just copying and pasting this journal response 1 onto a Microsoft Word document. So let me open up a Microsoft Word, blank document. So here I'm going to highlight that, Control C on your keyboard, and then you're going to click onto here and Control V. Here you can also put at the top political science 1120. So that way you have this. You can always save it, and then you can always open it when you need to work on it, or if you have a printer at home, print that out. You can write on the page or keep it in a notebook and then just work on it as you have time during the week. Sometimes keeping a folder with your stuff to do for that week and just opening it up whenever you have time is also a good way to stay ahead on your work. If you scroll down, you do see that she has the quizzes listed here. So you can always click on the quizzes. The most important thing to remember is reading how much time you have and how many attempts you have for the quiz. In this case, you can take the quiz twice, as long as you do it before the deadline. Deadlines are always important because they are hard deadlines. So be sure that you give yourself plenty of time to stay ahead on those deadlines. In this case, the highest score will be used for your grade. Some instructors will take the average of both attempts. And there is no retake. This retake option is for chapter quizzes only, not for major exams. Click on the quiz you want to, I guess in this case, you can always review your previous quizzes and then click on the calculated grade column, and it'll give you the quiz with the answers you chose, and you can always study off of that for your midterms and final exams. Scrolling down to the bottom, you get related sources and materials. So she has the Constitution for this that is pertaining to this module for week 1, Vote Smart, voter age requirements. So you're always going to want to be sure that you review the full module before you go and take the quiz or turn in anything for that week. But as I said, each course is different. I encourage you all to log in on the first day of class and explore your courses. We do have tutoring available online. If you go on to gallup.unm.edu/cal, it'll take you on to the Center for Academic Learning, CAL for short, their webpage. Right now with COVID, they are only doing online tutoring services via email. So you gotta give at least 24 hours, excluding holidays. For writing assignments, you need help with editing a paper, maybe starting a paper, brainstorming. You can always email Carla, or you can also email trjames@unm.edu. They can both help you with that. Just be sure you give them adequate time to review your documents. So if your document's due today at 5, emailing them at 4:55 is not going to be enough time for them to review it and get it back to you in a timely manner. So always give yourself at least a 48-hour cushion. For math assignments, you are going to want to email John White, and his email is right there. So that's always a good place to start. It's always a good thing to explore their website to see what are the updates, what services do they provide, where are they located, find them on Facebook. So you're going to want to be sure that you explore all these links ahead of time before you start hitting the deadlines for these classes. Here are some tips to help you with online classes. You're going to want to log in regularly. So logging in on Monday to write down what you need to do for the week is always a good thing. But you're not just going to want to log in on Monday and leave everything until the due date Saturday night and try and get everything in that evening. It's always a good thing to check in every couple of days to see if there's any announcements, if they may have added something to the syllabus, or they have extended out a deadline. It's always good to log in with that. They can also track when you log in and how long you logged in from the instructor side. So telling the instructor that you tried to get on the quiz the night before and it wouldn't load, they can actually track you to see if you actually did log in that evening and if you did try and attempt to open the quiz. You're also going to want to keep a list of to-do items for the week. I would recommend a planner that you can keep for all the important deadlines. You can color code by classes and also keeping those same colors for those classes for your notebooks and folders. It's always good to keep a binder or an individual folder for each class, so that way you're not getting everything mixed up in one binder. Complete assignments early and turn them in ahead of time. Sometimes Learn crashes, not very often, but sometimes it is known to go down. So when that happens, you are going to want to be sure that you get everything turned in ahead of time or create that support ticket that you're going to need. Don't always get used to creating those support tickets or trying to turn in everything an hour before the due date, just because can't always tell the instructor, I tried turning it in, but I ran out of time. We're all adults here, so we all got to be sure to stay ahead of our due date. Take quizzes and tests ahead of time. So be sure you give yourself adequate time, study time, and that you have little to no distractions so you can focus on the test. I do have a student before that did take a test on the day it was due. She logged in, she started doing the test. It was a midterm actually. And halfway through the midterm, the the test turned itself in. She didn't know what to do, but she did email her instructor. Instructor was able to open back up that midterm for her. So she did the right thing by contacting her instructor ahead of time and letting her know. But like I said, don't be doing that on the day it's due. Always stay ahead of the due date. Just like any in-person classes, keep open communication with your instructor. If you know you're going to be out of town for a certain week, try and work ahead or try and ask your instructor if you can get that work ahead of time so you can turn it in ahead of time. Or if your instructor is able to work with you, turning it in the following week. Because there are some times that we may be away from home, away from Wi-Fi, and not able to log in or anything. So just be sure you tell your instructor this ahead of time. So contacting them by their phone, also emailing them. Emailing is the best method, that we do have that little timestamp there when you did send it, and they're also able to email you back. Always use your UNM email, just because this way, with FERPA, Federal Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, we do have to be sure that it is you on the other side of the email whenever we're sending any correspondence related to your student status. So the same thing goes with the instructors. So it's always good to get into the habit of using your UNM email account. Keeping a backup flash drive with your assignments. So keeping it on your desktop, saving everything there is great on your laptop. But if you're using the computers in the computer lab, those are wiped at midnight. So you're going to want to keep a flash drive with all your assignments. I recommend one with a lanyard, so that way you'll see that you do need to get it out when you're done. You have no idea how many times students have lost flash drives on campus, but you're always going to want to keep a backup flash drive with your assignments, just in case one flash drive decides to die on you mid-semester. So it's always good to keep extra flash drives. Remember, guys, you're your biggest motivator. No one is going to be sitting there telling you when to do your work or when to turn it in. You're going to want to stay ahead on your assignments. You can do this. I know you can. If you have any questions, you can always contact your advisor. We can always help you with general questions. But there's also the online.unm.edu website with a lot of helpful videos. But just good luck this semester, guys. Thank you.